Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination fly. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair. Calm down and get your feet again. Get the Sci-Fi Center. We got almost everything a geek could want at the Sci-Fi Center. You name it, we got it. Star Trek, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and everything in between at the Sci-Fi
What is going on? That's screwed up. I really, really, really hate StreamYard right now.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Hold on. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we are. Independence Day watch party. The Twitch link is in the chat. I will keep putting it in there because I haven't had a chance to switch over YouTube channels to pin it, but it's right there for those of you who want to watch along. Otherwise, we're watching the standard 2-hour and 33-minute version of it. Are you ready to go? I've sent out the Twitch link or the link to everybody in our Patreon and then a couple other people. So if you guys want to join along, you can when you're ready. This is a fairly long movie, so I'm going to just go ahead and get it started. And everybody can, because I got some customers in the store.
Actually, can you DM me the StreamYard link real quick? This is on Twitter real quick. I sent you the message out a second ago.
Oh, your StreamYard messed up?
No, just shoot me the link real quick because there might be
okay, gotcha.
Somebody, one or two people joining potentially. I can't guarantee, but there might be.
There you go. You have it right now.
Okay.
Make sure I sent you
All right,
All right, cool, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get started real quick, and then I'll disappear for a couple minutes. I'll be right back. But I am going to go over to where I'm watching it. And if everybody's ready, I'm going to get a countdown to 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My sound. There we go. Be right back.
All right. So I'm going to talk to you guys tonight about all the ways that Independence Day is absolutely a martial arts film. Nah. Well, I'm actually doing a message of my own right now, guys. I'm texting out the StreamYard link William sent me. As potentially I could have a couple of guests of my own jumping in. Again, No guarantees. Do 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 do. Let's not do that, Brad, because he knows it's not a martial arts film. Well, I mean, Smith, he does have a pretty awesome punch against the alien later on. So I mean, that implies he, he had lots of training. Enjoying the Marines. Like, I mean, come on, he probably did all kinds of martial arts training. To take out an alien with one punch like that. Come on. Goes without saying. And that's that's one of the aliens here. Now we got to put him against like the Predator. Have him fight the Predator. Be awesome. Hello, Clint. Feeling pretty psyched. It's the end of the world. I pretty much discovered REM through this movie when I was a kid. Are you sure that wasn't bot? Well, he did. Well, yeah, he did. He played Muhammad Ali, but that was like 5 years after this.
What's up, Brad?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't do like the elongated version. That's good.
What, you want it? What's up?
No, I didn't want that.
Well, you just said that.
I said I'm glad you didn't do it. So why did you do it anyway? I love this guy who's like, but it's like bumps his head. Like, if this isn't insanely beautiful, and hanging up and bumps his head and starts swearing. It's the golf balls. You're gonna kill me here. Love that guy. It's coming from the moon. William's back. Okay. He's gonna talk about all this stuff about that's not kung fu related within Independence Day. Who wants to watch that? Well, here's something cool though. That's the dad from Independence Day right there. Is one of the generals, Dan Lauria. He was also in season 1 of Smallville. He was a football coach who had anger powers.
Okay, let's see if we can go like forever without bringing up Smallville.
Well, it was a good episode. He had he was basically like their version of the Hulk.
Okay.
He's a hard ass football coach on it. But Dan Lauria was also, of course, everybody kind of mainly knows him as the dad on the Wonder Years.
Oh wow, well,
I'm not really.
how old are you? What the fuck? You weren't even alive when that show came.
Yeah, I was. I was a baby, but I was alive.
Oh, you muted yourself.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Go ahead, Clint. You were saying something?
I was never a
saying
big.
something. He muted himself.
Yeah, I muted myself because other people were talking.
Yeah.
I've never been a huge fan of this movie, to be honest. It was just special effects and eye candy for me. The story was kind of lame.
It's a pop. What do they call them? Popcorn movies. It was so ridiculous. It was just it's the splendor of the ridiculous ad campaign. Everything about it just came together for me.
Well, again, because
But yeah, it's but what I will always admit, it's 100% bullshit.
well, again, all they needed I mean, this was like probably one of the best marketed movies, certainly of my childhood, was because all they had to show, like the trailer was just the White House getting destroyed. That's all they had to show, with that spaceship hovering over in the White House blowing up. That's all they had to show.
Yeah. I basically went to the movie going, oh, cool, alien invasion movie, and then I left. I was like, well, it had pretty lights.
Yeah. It's so lame, man. Come on, this is the greatest alien invasion movie ever made. Come on.
Well, when you know
this
what
guy
I
right
know
here,
about what's in the universe,
what? That's it.
There's no reason for it.
And this guy right here, President Thomas Whitmore, the undisputed, irrefuted, the greatest movie president ever. I would vote for that man in a heartbeat. I would vote for that man in a heartbeat.
You are so wrong.
Who would you say could possibly top him?
President Camacho.
Not even close.
Yep.
No.
Do you know what movie it is?
No idea.
Well, then you can't even say it's from Idiocracy.
Well, there you go. I mean, the title says it all. Come on. Best movie president here.
Sorry, the sun's coming down. People are coming in. So
the only well, I was just telling Clint that President Whitmore, the best movie president of all time. I would vote for that man in a heartbeat. The closest competitor he has.
He's only cool because he does shit that you would never. President's not getting shit.
Well, crazy. That's why I said movie president.
It's President Camacho, Brad. You need to watch Idiocracy.
The only competitor he has.
I've never seen that movie.
The closest competitor.
You really should watch it too, William. You will agree with me 100%.
And my sis from the land down under is joining us tonight. Awesome.
That is banned too.
And actually, I believe it was Aaron who led the counteroffensive in Australia during the alien invasion. That's why they didn't take out the Sydney Opera House. Thank you very much, Aaron. You got the White House. You got the Eiffel Tower. You got all these other landmarks. You can't have the Opera House. You can't, aliens.
Movies aren't real, Brad. Movies aren't real.
Well, no, I was retweeting like the Independence Day real time.
Guys,
laying out the alien invasion in real time.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm on shit. I'm on shit internet. So let me know if the Twitch stream goes away a little bit because it's all on the same internet. I'm not on a hotspot, so I can't promise that Twitch is going to stay up. I'm in 1913 internet here.
So let me know.
This is not checkmate.
I can hear myself cussing in somebody's echo.
I think I might be Aaron there.
I'm sorry.
I know. Oh, this is not checkmate. I love that guy. I love Judd Hirsch in this.
Oh,
this is not checkmate. Look at me.
Gosh. Is this 2.5 hours of your dad jokes and bad imitations, Ben?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have 2 hours.
We go down. We go back. We go forward. We go side to side.
Hey guys, I don't know. Do we need to vote? I don't know if I can do 2 hours of bread.
You don't think they spent $30,000 on a hammer, $50,000 on a toilet seat, do you?
Apparently, Brad is in his happy place right now.
I'm actually kind of wondering how much does this...
Brad, did you do some weed?
No, I've never done. No. Oh.
I'm sober right now, but it's going to change real soon.
I'm actually kind of wondering, like, how much does also David's occupation, or at least the portrayal of it, does that that maybe kind of dates the movie a little bit? He's a cable repairman. Like, well, cable. First of all, it's like it's almost kind of going out of fashion now. So, like, how much does that date this? But just a product of its time, obviously.
Oh, there's so much in here that gets that dated. Remember the biggest commercial was the computers.
Yeah.
After this is over, I'm going to go watch all the illegal fireworks that the police said they're going to crack down on this year.
Oh, they're all over the place in my neck of the woods tonight. And he crop dusted the wrong field. Mm. That's it's kind of the nice one of the nice kind of elements of movies. Russell's character arc is his son just totally doesn't respect him at all. He says he's wrong field, you idiot.
Yeah.
That guy went nutty in real life.
Yeah, yeah. Randy Quaid did look kind of go off the deep end a little bit, putting it delicately.
Well, I won't put it delicately. He went batshit crazy.
What was it? There was a whole thing with like the celebrity hit squad or something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean,
the government was trying to implant chips into his brain.
Yeah, and he like applied for like
Canadian, that kind of crazy,
like Canadian like refugee status. He and his wife, and yeah, they kind of went out there.
Yeah, all that stuff coming into the atmosphere, even as close as what you just saw, we're fucked.
Well, again, that's what I kind of said last night is that I think the alien, like, they would account for the idea that they want to take us out, but they don't want to like damage the planet before they can like drain all our resources. They would like have like some kind of like anti-gravitational field on all their ships so they wouldn't like cause tidal waves and things of that nature.
No, this movie covered everything it needed to. This movie made a crap for the mid '90s for that time era. This movie was a literally redefined blockbuster.
It was the second biggest movie of the time ever made. It was like the second biggest grossing movie ever made. And number one was Jurassic Park at the time. And so Jeff Goldblum, like when this came out, he had the two biggest hits of all time to his name. And like the first Jurassic Park, and then the next year he had Lost World, which is also a really huge hit. So he was kind of like
Aerosmith wrote some songs because a movie.
Singing?
In the really real world,
Aerosmith did write some songs for Armageddon, but he also did a remake.
Yeah, they didn't do any for Independence Day.
In the really real world, there's only one substance on Earth that's not in abundance everywhere else, and that's DNA. So that's the only reason why an alien would come here, because there's iron everywhere, there's gold everywhere, even.
Well, yeah, but it's like every planet they go to, they just bleed it dry, and then once it's all gone, then they go to the next planet to get all their stuff.
They don't even have to bleed the planets. That's a poor resource. They could just go by where a star just exploded and get all the iron you could ever want forever.
Yeah, well, it's like then, again, they get all that out there and they use it up, and they got more. They got to get their whole civilization moving at once.
Every star you see in the sky, Brad, will eventually produce iron.
And there's iron in our DNA.
Well, see, I was telling William this last night too. We were talking because he was talking about how much he hates, which we both don't like, Independence Day resurgence. And one of the things, one of the reasons I really don't like that is like what they do with the greatest movie president of all time, Tom. So they turn him into a hermit and make it, he has like PTSD from the telepathic link he has with the alien a little bit later on. And again, one of the things I thought would have been like so cool. And William, do you think that maybe they should have done this in this movie, or the idea why I suggested like like show him like having a vision of like what these other planets look like once they've completely just stripped them of all their resources. And like,
not in this movie. The sequel, yeah. The sequel,
Yeah,
In the,
yes, but
sequel,
not in
in
this.
the sequel, if you watch closely at the beginning, it shows a planet cracked in half.
Yeah, but it was terrible. So yeah, but I always thought that'd be cool, like see that vision he saw of like showing like either like one of the previous planets they've invaded or like what Earth would have looked like. You have just like them just like just drinking the ocean dry and like draining all our oil and all of our oxygen. Like just show like the
Yeah, not in this
aftermath of all
movie.
these.
Not in this movie. I would have done that.
But you think that could have worked as like one of his PTSD visions in the second one?
Not in that script. I would have torn up that script and done it. But yeah, hold on for a second.
Yeah, if you apply really real world physics to this and what the abundance of elements in the universe are, Earth has so little to offer.
What Earth?
When you compare all the elements in the universe that are created every single day, Earth has very little compared to that. Like every day, two neutron stars collide at least every day in the universe and produce so much gold it would.
Yeah, but there's a lot of radiation from that, so the aliens they want to avoid that.
There's like this was several years ago. Can't remember how long it was, but there's been a theory going on since since the late 90s that the moon can hold power, like a source of power, and that.
Oh yeah, and Emmerich actually he kind of
And Brad, if they
went
can
into that.
interstellar travel, they can deal with radiation.
Yeah, Aaron, they Emmerich even kind of like dove a bit into that later on with Moonfall. He kind of dove in that whole kind of that's a little bit different. Like that kind of tackles the whole like hollow moon conspiracy, but sort of kind of adjacent to that. What you just mentioned there.
But then I turn my rational mind off and look.
Turn it off and shut it the hell up. We're watching the Independence Day.
Look at the pretty lights.
And not only that, it's like there's been a couple of other moons. There's one of Jupiter's moons that you can like humans can actually set up a base there if they wanted to, and I think one of Mars's moons. They think that also can hold like a particular power source. So we'll be like friggin' mining moons and stuff.
They're making a movie.
Once we get spaceships ready and stuff.
We probably can't set up a base at Jupiter, but we could at Saturn.
Yeah, well, these guys right here definitely couldn't.
Because Jupiter has enough radiation coming off of it that it destroys equipment we send there. Saturn doesn't.
Yeah, when the aliens took you up, did they do any like sexual things? Do you recollect?
Your Twitch is not running.
Yeah, I got to play it on my Amazon actually.
Yeah, there was a. Oh, not only that, it was there's a planet. I don't know which moon it is. It rains diamonds.
It rains diamonds.
Yeah.
It's
That-
probably some hot Jupiter near a sun.
Yeah, possibly.
All right, we should be back up. I'm on different internet again.
Yeah, Vivica, not actually a fox, as CinemaSins calls her.
Did you talk that entire time? I was off air.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
We were talking about like things like Karate Kid and The Furious and
different planets.
yeah, planets where it rains diamonds.
No. we were talking about like moons and planets and stuff like that, like science fiction.
Well, here's some science fiction for you, as William said last night when we were talking. It's like this spaceship hovers over the White House. The president's not staying put.
Yeah, we're getting the hell out of there. Yeah, if that hovers over my city, I'm getting the hell out.
Well, in my condition right now, I would just look up at the sky and wave at the aliens until the blue light came.
Well, what they do got those people like get on top of the one building in LA. They're like waving
Yeah,
signs.
the First Interstate building.
Yeah. I would have at least like waited. Like I'd hedge my bet a little bit and like say, okay, let's just see what these guys if they don't zap us, then I might go up. Let's see, is it close encounters or is it
Absolutely
is it Mars
not.
attack?
I'm gone.
And if the aliens really wanted to get this planet, they just send a 20-mile asteroid at us. That would kill us all off.
Well, yeah, but they don't want to just kill us. They want to strip the planet of everything it's worth. So
you kill us, there's no resistance.
Well, yeah, but also you might vaporize the oceans. You might you disrupt the oxygen supply, you ruin the atmosphere, do all kinds of things.
Yeah, but you don't care. You're just stripping it. You're just getting all of it out of there, and stuff doesn't just magically disappear if it goes up into the air.
Oh, it's one of Saturn's moons that rains diamonds. It's called Titan. It's its largest moon.
Wow, we got to plan a trip there. After you're out back, that's not going to be a problem.
The radiation from Jupiter would kill you so fast.
That's not how radiation works. It's like I'll just absorb it like Bruce Banner.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no.
Go ahead and test that theory, Brad. Nice knowing you.
No, it's Saturn's moon. So as far as I know, Saturn's closer to Jupiter to us than Jupiter.
Well, so this is what so going to the outback, like William says, that'll be like the warm up, and then it's like then traveling to the diamond raining planet. That's no problem at all. A destination far away from here.
Oh wow! See, in a place like California, they probably think it's a normal earthquake.
Well, that's what Will thinks. He gets he comes out of bed like, oh, it's a little shake, and the neighbors are running and like.
And Brad, if a planet or moon is raining diamonds, think about what would cause that. First, you'd have to vaporize the carbon into the air. Then there would have to be so much pressure and heat that would create the diamond, and then the diamond would fall and get vaporized again from all the heat.
Dude, when I was on the swim team as a kid, I once dove to the bottom of the deep end of the pool. So, okay, I can handle some pressure. Okay, I did that when I was 8 years old. I know how to handle pressure.
Yeah, sure.
It's so eerie watching like old movies, especially in the 90s and that is seeing the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
And on that note, Brad, I'm going to dose up.
Say again, Clint.
I'm about to buy a plane ticket.
Oh, okay. Happy travels.
Have a nice
and
flight.
I'm not even an American, and I'm like, oh, it's so heartbreaking. And knowing that like whole stack of New York's going to be destroyed.
Well, and they were planning that though. Like while this movie was being made, like Al Qaeda was planning that.
Yeah.
Hey, William, the power at the house didn't come out until like 3 o'clock on yesterday.
Oh wow, damn.
There was like 5 down power lines in the block.
Why is my mother Atlanta? He has my favorite death in this movie, Harvey Firestein. Like when the ship zaps the death ray down on New York, and the one car like flips up and flies
I
towards
thought
him.
he survived.
No, he's the guy in the car where the car is like when the fire is spreading in New York. He goes, "Oh crap!" and the other car like flips onto his car.
How would the aliens know to go over the White House?
Well, that's why that's probably why they like abducted Russell and probably other people, because he says like they've been studying us for years. So and also they've been able to hack into our satellite signals, so they're able to kind of get a pulse on like our society and our government structure, and we'd actually go ahead.
I'm sorry. If I remember right, they went over every major city on the planet.
Well, and it'd probably be like appealing to them because the idea that they would look at Earth as like, okay, Earth is very factionalized. It has different nations, different cultures, so they would probably think we're easy pickings because they would look at us as a very tribal species that we're not going to be able to like mount a unified front against them. That ends up being kind of like the point of the movie, is that that's how we defeat them.
So we when it comes to like Sydney, even though Sydney isn't the capital, it's our financial sector, like our Wall Street and New York and that.
When
Yep.
they hit,
In
they hit LA,
comparison,
they hit New York. Yeah. So
if Sydney goes, pretty much the country goes.
Well, we've seen Mad Max, so we know how your country's going to go.
Oh, thank you very much.
wow.
Thank you very much.
Well, Aaron's gonna like lead everybody. She's gonna be like Furiosa in the post like Independence Day invasion landscape. Come on.
You gonna shave your head?
She'll have a flock of trained kangaroos.
Oh, dude, that's all we'll ride because remember, there's a gas shortage, right? So we'll just be riding kangaroos.
Oh no,
With a saddle?
my kangaroos is going to be like the kangaroos from no, my kangaroos are going to be like the kangaroos in Tank Girl.
Oh, like Ice-T the human, the half human. I can't ride that.
No, you can't. They're going to be kangaroos from the Aussie hood.
Oh, jacked up.
Anyway, a little bit of trivia. This kid playing Dylan, he was his name's Russell Bagley. He was also in some of his other credits are Babe. He was Buckwheat in the Little Rascals movie, and and he was also, I don't know what he did exactly, but he was also on Fresh Prince. And I think Fresh Prince, didn't that end like the year before this, or something like that? Let me look this up real quick.
Yeah, I think so.
Just ended like it ended the year. Yeah, it ended like just like a few months before. Look at this. Trying to. Yeah, it ended like 6 weeks before this movie came out. It ended May 20th, 96. So it Will rode quite a wave from like the finale of Fresh Prince into Independence Day. I remember seeing this one interview he gave where he said because he had Bad Boys like in between the end of Fresh Prince and Independence Day, but he had mentioned like after
When did
Independence
Men in
Day.
Black come out?
That was the year after this. It was 97. But he'd mentioned like Independence Day was such a hit. It was after Independence Day. He said that was the first time people started calling him Mr. Smith. Like you'd like go going to a restaurant, people would say, "Hello, Mr. Smith." Again, it's like he like took that as like that's like a kind of like the sign of like how big a hit that was, how much his stock had kind of risen from that.
Are the fireworks going on full strength where you're at, William?
Yeah. Not as bad as if I was at the house though, because the neighborhood surrounds it, and it sounds like I'm literally I'm about to be invaded. I can't, and the sound just like boom, and it shakes everything. Here I'm upstairs, I can hear them, but I can't feel them. It's not as bad. I can see some of them.
What I know is that Emmerich actually had to like fight to have Will Smith to be in the movie.
Yeah, he's talked
because
about
they at first they tried to get Ethan Hawke to play the role, but he turned it down, and they were going to different actors and stuff.
and like the producers didn't like want a black leading man or
yeah. Well, originally Roland Emmerich wanted to have the black lead. But it was the head honchos wanted to make the role white, and they pretty much the ones that try to get Ethan Hawke to do it, but he turned it down, and he said it was the biggest mistake of his life.
And well, then Will kind of had the one like that a few years later when he turned down the Matrix for Wild Wild West. So.
I don't think that really hurt him though. I don't think he felt that at all.
You talking about Will Smith with the Matrix?
Yeah, I don't think that bothered. I don't think that meant anything. You know why? Because we think in retrospect, oh, wow, he missed that role. But we only think about it because we know what Keanu Reeves did in it. It doesn't mean that it would have been the same for Will Smith. And he had no shortage of roles.
Well, yeah, I don't think it like damaged his career, but like in terms of like which one you'd rather like have on your resume.
I don't think they look at it that way. I think they look at their whole body of work, and I just don't think that really was anything that fazed him at all, to be honest with you. He actually speaks highly of Wild Wild West. And when you're a guy who's got an Academy Award and got all this money, you don't look at it like us, like, oh, damn, that guy missed out on that one. Nah, he looks at it like, I did King Richard. I did Independence Day. I mean,
like Halle Berry kind of has that where she actually, her Razzie notwithstanding, she still actually does look back with some fondness on Catwoman.
It's a career. It's a career. I'll be right back.
Aaron,
if you look at it in hindsight, it's pretty much Wild West has become like a cult classic, and it pretty much created the steampunk subculture.
Wild Wild West, yeah.
Yeah.
So Aaron, what do they call a group of kangaroos?
They call them kangaroos.
No, you got a flock of birds, you got a murder of crows, you got a herd of cattle.
Oh, mob. They call it a mob.
A mob of kangaroos. Okay.
Yeah, mob.
Yeah. Okay. So I thought Clint was asking that they call them like kangaroo or something. No, you call multiple kangaroos.
Aaron is right. Yeah. They call it a mob.
Yeah. Says Captain Stephen Hiller, loser. And because I was only about like 9 or 10 years old when I first saw this, I of course did not know that this was Harry Connick Jr., who's Jimmy. See, I like the one knee approach because it puts the booty right in front of the. And Aaron stepped away. It's like, Aaron, are you coming back with a mob of kangaroos? Remember when Aaron steps away, she brings back something cool. Yeah, here's another thing. I think Willie would agree with this bullshit that this strip club is still open when there's an alien invasion going on. I mean, look at this. It's like there's nobody like paying attention to her. It's all about what's on TV with those nuts on the top of the building.
I don't know about you, Brad, or where you live, but here in Vegas, the strip clubs would be open and running.
In the minute alien invasion, come on.
You don't know Las Vegas that well.
Spaceships hovering over national landmarks.
The strip, very little closes the strip clubs in Las Vegas.
Well, let's wait until we get invaded by aliens, and we'll find out, and we'll come back and discuss.
What is Brad? What is?
I was saying like the other thing that was I put is like you talk about like the president would like get out of Dodge, you know, it's spaceships over the White House, and I also mentioned like the strip club. Come on, the strip club would not be open if there's an alien invasion going on. And Clint says no, it would. In Vegas, it would.
I know on 9/11 they were because I know some strippers that were working them. I knew as soon as COVID could get back open to letting anybody in anywhere, one of the first damn things that opened was strip clubs. So, hey, people need a place to go, man. Hey, I'm just being too. Look at that light. Look at that. You don't look like Jordan. Yeah, baby face.
See, William agrees with me. The strip clubs would be open even during an alien invasion.
By the way, also it's like as Aaron posted the other day, it's like it's winter in Australia right now. That's why she's all bundled up there because it's cold outside. Yeah, I got the beanie on because it's cold outside. And meanwhile, I walk out my front door every morning and it feels like the surface of the damn sun right now.
Oh, I'm at the sun's core then because it's much the humidity that we had a couple of days ago, but
it's kind of cool out tonight though. I will say it's about like low 70s, maybe like high 60s.
The only time I've ever wished for rain in this lousy places was like today, so that way they wouldn't be able to be out there doing fireworks.
What is this outdoors you're talking about, Brad? I don't go outdoors during summer.
Well, see. What happens is you walk to your front door and you pull it back, and then you walk out, in that opening that it provides, and this is the environment that is out there beyond the confines of the front door.
There's been times in Las Vegas I go, I'm gonna go out and have some fun. I take 2 steps, turn around, and order a pizza for home.
Yeah, what was that, William?
Yeah, that's for sure. Where's your dog?
Oh, Murphy? Oh, he's laying down. He's finally calmed down after all the fireworks have kind of dissipated. Had to give him a tranquilizer too.
Like you're 3 hours away.
Yeah.
This scene is pretty dangerous.
Oh, the whole thing of that we're gonna fly the helicopter with like the flashy like light doohickey and.
Oh no! When Harry Connick Jr. is pretending to propose to
Oh yeah.
Will Smith.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
Hey, is that an old WCW beanie you have on?
Yep.
Oh my goodness! How long have you had that thing?
I'll take it off.
I just noticed the emblem. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's a relic, man. That
was the original, right, I think.
You punched the president? I think I'm a little bit ahead of you guys because I'm playing on my Amazon right now. Where are you guys at?
She's at the strip club watching the people at the top of the interstate building in California.
Okay. Yeah. Should I pause because I'm right where they get
blasted?
Should I pause and wait for you guys? Because I'm right where they just got to the White House and the whole thing about you punched the president. I'm gonna pause and let you guys catch up to me a little bit. Give it about 5 minutes.
Yeah, because I have some issues here.
That made me laugh. It's like, you punched the president? No, he wasn't the president then.
You're the only person I know who can make themselves laugh at their own impressions like that. You can't even finish your words sometimes because you're laughing at yourself.
That's legit funny. You punched the president?
My goodness.
And actually, going back to what Aaron said a minute ago, because yeah, that also probably dates this movie a little bit. The whole like where Harry he has the wedding ring, and the other soldier comes behind, and it's like this is definitely during Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and lots of changes, and Emmerich is actually gay, so he's actually mining a little bit of humor from that too. But yeah, definitely, yeah, a lot has changed since that one sort of proposal, I guess you could call that scene.
I wonder if that was a bit of a that scene was added as a bit of a dig to the U.S. military for pulling funding for this film, because the military was fully on board
Yeah.
to help with the funding until Emmerich and that refused to take out the whole Area 51 story plot.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. What you got
And
any
the
thoughts on
US
that?
military said, "Yep, nah, we want you to change it, take it out." And Emmerich said no. So the US military said, "No, I'm not going to fund it anymore."
I don't know. What you think that? Because I don't know. I mean, I could see it either way. Because I mean, I would think that the government would look at whatever they would put in this movie and say yeah, you guys are totally off about what's going. I mean, and they can they've got plausible deniability. As Nimziki says, plausible deniability. So they could just come out and say it's oh yeah, it's just total bullshit that we have spaceships in Area 51 and. I don't know, man. Can you see that, William? It's that maybe that was why they pulled funding is because
What?
that Emmerich didn't want to change the whole Area 51 element of it. They asked him to, and he said no, I'm keeping that in. And said okay, fine, we're backing out, and then he kind of got to dig back in them with the whole with the mistaken proposal scene.
I mean, it could have been. I mean, Area 51, everybody knows it's out there. It's just never officially recognized. I mean, there's been movies that have Area 51 in it. I was all over Area 51 long before this, but the government always just said, nah, yes. You know what you're talking about.
I know they only officially recognised the existence of Area 51 after the whole Storm Area 51 thing, and the US Air Force had to pretty much make a statement.
Yeah, I remember when I was actually, I think it was probably around the time this movie came out. When I was a kid, I used to go to the arcade, and there was actually a console called Area 51 and it was a little bit like Doom, where it was a shoot 'em up where it's I don't think it involved aliens. It just involved kind of like a military conflict on the base Area 51.
If I remember this documentary I watched one time, right? The military actually has a plan for alien invasion.
And here's this whole thing. Yeah, we flashlights at them and they zap us back.
Oh yeah, I was watching that thing that you watch every year while they're monitoring this, and then when it gets zapped, like
and we got 26 minutes to get out of
that guy puts a lot into that every year.
Yeah.
He puts a lot
on the ID. It was referring to the ID4 in real time Twitter. And it's also Blue Sky
now
too. So does a tweet that's kind of course throughout. Well, he really kind of starts at like late June, but then especially when it gets to July 2nd, that's when he tweets to, okay, here's this event in the movie that happens. Here's when the ship starts zapping the cities. Here's when we have the counteroffensive, et cetera, et cetera. And that's
on there when he put out his last tweet. I was on there when he said thanks for this is 7 year in a row that we've done this, and I had fun with it.
Yeah, that's always a lot of fun, dude. I look forward to that every 4th of July. Again, it's I would.
and he said that and he said this year was the first year he did a simulcast with Blue Sky.
Yeah, he's on Blue Sky now too.
This is kind of cool.
Yeah, again, it's like this bunch of jokers on top of the building. I would have at least let's feel these aliens out. Is this Close Encounters or Mars Attacks? I want to know before.
I've been to the top of that building because you can actually. It's the first interstate building, is what it was called then. 777 Los Angeles Boulevard. You can actually go up there, and they'll let you go, dude. The city, the view of the city. If you are afraid of heights, first of all, you wouldn't be up there.
Yeah.
But it's awe-inspiring to see LA from that. It's a helicopter pad right there, but you can go up, and it's like you can actually get up to the top. They actually will let you up there. Man, it is so majestic. The only other view I've ever seen that's cool like that was the Stratosphere here when I went to the top of that.
So is that like one of the taller buildings in LA?
Yeah, it is the tallest building in LA.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah. I've only been to LA once when we were moving to Hawaii when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's one of the tallest buildings in the country. It's
no, yeah, then that would be a problem for me because I do have a bit of a height. It's a problem.
Pussy.
Somebody must have just lost a finger or two because I just heard an ambulance go by.
Yeah, hope they're okay.
Oh, wow.
Hey, listen, I hope they are too. But what do you? Come on.
I mean, that's awfully specific of a scenario for you to come out with, Clint.
It's the 4th of July.
It's probably the most likely one.
No, that's true. Yeah, with the date.
Hey, Mommy, look.
Oh, don't worry. In Australia, we have the same problem on both Australia Day and New Year's.
Yeah. With
So
fireworks?
what happens to? So we have our dogs
Yeah.
here that get spooked out, but do the kangaroos just start running crazy?
Oh, William, come on, man. The whole thing with the
She's
kangaroo.
trying not to smile.
We have our issues with all our dogs and stuff, but I don't know how the kangaroos behaves. I'm sure they're just as freaked out.
When I get to Australia, Aaron, I'm gonna find. We're riding a kangaroos, and we're not even gonna direct them where to go. We're just gonna go wherever the kangaroos take us.
I don't know what to say.
The only thing we know about the only thing I know about Australia is kangaroos, trapdoor spiders, and kookaburra birds.
Well, we know one more thing.
And
Aaron
one of
and I-
those things, we ain't getting anywhere near.
Well, one more thing Aaron and I know about it. It's Brent Foster.
And that's a human.
Exactly.
Yeah, now you want to evacuate. I'm sorry, your ass should have been gone.
What was it Ford
already.
was saying the other night? Yeah, this one guy who's still in his office too when that fire comes up. Like, what are you doing? The work day's over at this point, man. There's
We're
aliens
gone,
coming.
baby. Even the strippers are leaving now. We gotta go.
I think it was fourth. I think it was fourth last night. He was talking about he doesn't think this is. And kind of clarify, was he saying he doesn't think the effects of age? Because I think the effects of age magnificently.
Well, he's saying that the physics of the fire and everything, and he's saying that doesn't line up. I'm like, this entire movie. He says it does. No, it didn't age well. And I'm like, no, it didn't age well in 1996. This was bullshit as we watched it.
Well, here's the
was
death I was
fun.
telling you about. It's like, oh, Harvey Weinstein. Oh crap! In the car, and then the other car flips on him. Yeah, and there goes the White House right there. And again,
It's bad when the strippers quit.
Yep, they're the last ones to leave.
and see,
Kind of like the where you're at, Brad, the Waffle House. When the Waffle House closes, you know it's bad.
yeah, the strippers leave, and there's like they run. There's like a tornado of $1 bills falling out there.
This scene on top of L.A. That's my
Yeah.
hometown. All right, that's exactly
with
what
the fire spreading.
what
Yeah,
they're doing.
that's a really beautiful shot there.
William will be on his way out.
I'll be on top of the building waving at the aliens.
Yeah, Clint's done. He's like,
Yeah.
fuck it. and they'll kill everybody else and take Clint and just leave him alive.
Yeah.
That would be my luck.
They'll give you a good strain. They'll give you a different airplane flight. Try this, human.
Yeah, and see, that's the other thing too about the kind of the scale of all the ships blowing up the cities is, from like the point they're hovering at, and it makes it look like they're like just 20 feet above the city. But
That's what I'm saying. That's too close.
Yeah, but I mean the plane taking off and from like some of the buildings are like the building they blast through in each city, like they're above the Chrysler building or they're above the Empire State Building. in New York, so they have to be like thousands of feet in the air for that. They're hovering very high, but just the perspective of it makes it look like they're really low to the ground.
Yeah, there's no. I remember saying this
These
as I was
people are
sitting here
so
watching this movie.
stupid.
There's no fucking way I'm there.
What was that, Aaron?
I said these people are so stupid.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Look at the size of that weapon. That building is massive. And the Empire State Building.
Aaron, Fort's asking for a link or a StreamYard link. Have you guys?
Yeah, it's on the top.
And again, it's like we were talking about this earlier. We were talking about this earlier on
Oh.
Twitter. Like, this is so ridiculous, the dog
Oh.
survival, but it's
Okay.
so crowd pleasing because everybody wanted
that
this dog.
dog's toast.
Everybody wanted that dog to make it, and it's like if that
dog would have died from the radiant
no,
heat.
if this dog doesn't make it, that destroys the movie.
That dog's like getting vaporized like as he jumps.
I don't care. Like the dog made it. It's like that is a fist pump.
Yeah, well, the crowd loved it. The crowd cheered when
Damn
that
right,
dog
the crowd
came
loves
back
it.
to
The crowd loves it. And now actually, the part right here with the the next day, July 3rd, with the ship hovering over New York. I actually did I might have mentioned this last time we did the last Independence Day watch party. I did a feature when I was at Screen Rant about because one thing that always kind of like struck me about that part was that when they start the ships start blasting all the cities. It's like on Eastern.
I believe
like
this is all mostly practical effects.
Yeah, but it's like it's it's like 9 o'clock at night. Or
why was that guy there? Why was that guy filing stuff? There are giant saucers outside of your office.
That's what I think every time I watch this. Like, what are you doing, dude? You're off the clock. There's aliens. Get out of Dodge, man. But the shot there of where it says July 3rd of the ship still hovering over New York, and that always kind of struck me like, well, why is it still there? Because it's like probably like 9-10 o'clock at night when they finally start attacking, and then you can see the sun is rising when they're leaving New York. And that's a piece I did at Screen Rant where I had this idea that I think maybe the reason it's still there and like it's just shutting up its laser cannon at that point is I think what might happen off screen is they actually send down a second laser blast after that with the idea that we're gonna like eliminate the survivors from the first one because they're trying to kill us off. So send down a second one, cover your bases, and then move on. That's why it takes them so long. So this is kind of a theory I had about like why they're just leaving when the sun is rising when it goes over to July 3rd. How's it going, Perp? Dog has crypto energy. No mirror fire can take it out. Damn right. That dog deserves.
Brad, it's daylight where they're hitting other places, right?
No, but what I'm saying is that it wasn't when they started the attack in the attacks they show across the United States. There was at New York and Washington and L.A. It was nighttime, and then it does the cut to July 3rd, and then the sun is rising, and the ship is just leaving and just like closing its blast cannon. And so that's kind of my theory is that, okay, they sent down another laser beam after that to take out survivors from the first one. Yeah. I think he was asking for a link to the stream. Hey, Perp, I'll shoot you one too if you want to come on, man. Yeah.
Actually, the radiant heat would have killed all of them, no matter where they were. When you got 100-foot fireball coming at you, there really isn't.
Yeah, if you could turn around and see that, it's over. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. We'll see you next time, man. I gotta go back on your show and talk more kung fu at some point. We gotta set that up, man. So I'll DM you about that. We'll try to arrange that and bring the sis along too. You got to have like all three of us.
Of course, the link is in Patreon. It's in there because Clint used it to get here. So I know it's the right one.
There's no ID4 duck, so we're going with the hot one.
What's that?
There's no ID4 rubber duck.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, damn! That shocked me because they've had 25 years to come up with one of those. How did Clint find it? You can't.
Yeah, I mean, William sent it to me, and it's like,
Do you want me?
I sent it.
Do you want me to try and see if I
Here,
can send you the StreamYard?
Yeah, go ahead and send it to him. He's the most technology savvy guy on the damn stream. Can't find the link.
Yeah. When I'm
pretty technology savvy, William.
Yeah, Forrest, when
What's
I'm
up?
doing better with technology than you are, that's saying something, man.
Yeah. Brad's got grandmother level technology. He's here.
I used to fix high technology.
That's true. Yeah, you fix slots. Yeah. Justice League stream, dude. We haven't done a Justice League.
Yeah, we done.
stream
The last time we did that was the
like
anniversary.
January, dude.
That was March. Yeah, it was the anniversary.
Was it March? Yeah, that's right. March 18th. Yep.
All right.
But that's
Send it
still
to him.
several months ago. So
Yeah, it's still not today. Damn.
There could be a glitch or something on his end.
It could be. Did you send it to him, or do I need to?
Yeah, I'll send it to him and see if it works or not.
Okay.
Boy, I sure am glad the police are cracking down on all those illegal fireworks.
Yeah, right. My ass, dude. I'm watching because you can see, like, from where I'm at, there's a neighborhood right across the Sahara. You can see a bunch of illegal ones coming up, and I can see the sirens going over there too. So, but like I said, the neighborhood where I live, they're using like ordnance. I don't know what these people use every year. Last year, it was shaking the windows. And I had my earphones on and I could feel it because when I would go home, I don't want to hear it. So I just put on my thing and blast my music and I could still feel their fireworks. So it's like, fuck it, I'm just going to stay at the center of this
or
shit.
to that even more horrifying.
What the
picture that
fuck?
usually has.
Dude, no, get out. No, we're not doing this.
What the hell is that?
No, you're gone. Fuck this. That's disturbing. Fuck that. Fuck, dude. Like the previous walrus wasn't enough.
That's like a softer version of myself.
No, that is not.
That's like a selfie walrus photo.
That's like 10 times. Well, it's not. I mean, you're not much more attractive than the walrus. You are. I will agree with you, but at the same time, you don't have tusk. I don't need the tusk.
You just have something against walruses, William, and you have to get over that yourself.
You should too. Most sane people should.
We are kind and cuddly creatures.
Actually, quite dangerous too.
It looks like something from the Substance.
I missed the destruction scene. All right.
Yeah.
You see how slow that fire is moving when the dog's like, "Boomer!"
Yes, of course, but it's a bullshit movie. It's all bullshit.
Now,
yeah, we all agreed the dog would be vaporized from the radiant heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no happy ending to this. If this were to happen, we're not making it. We're done as a race. We're done.
Now, one of the interesting things, there's a shot of like the fire that's going through all the buildings, which is my favorite shot of the destruction. They actually build this like the city on a vertical, like on a wall, and they shot a flame up of it and recorded it at high frame rate.
That's
and
on that's on the special features in the DVD. Actually,
Yeah,
have that DVD here.
I thought that was very, very intriguing how they did that, because that was a great
Yeah,
shot.
this is one of the last couple of years where they were doing mostly practical.
Yeah, this was a little bit like the approach they took was actually kind of similar to Terminator 2, where they had, it's seen as this, kind of really, this quantum CGI, and it definitely has that, but there's also like again a lot of practical stuff with it. So the CGI, it's almost supplementary to that.
Oh yeah. Oh, we get some Robert Loggia here. Can't change one falling object into many.
Tell them how to bring those sons of bitches down.
I thought this movie was so cool because it was fucking right after the Fresh Prince and Bad Boys. It's like Will Smith in a fucking alien movie. Oh,
I mentioned that before he came on. It's like this. It came out, July 2nd, '96, and that was about 6 weeks after Fresh Prince ended, and about a year
Yep.
after Bad Boys. So he was definitely. This was definitely his breakthrough time.
Yeah, it's just watching an actor who was already big on TV. Now he's in freaking A-list movies that are freaking groundbreaking. It's like you can do no wrong. I remember telling my friends all about the trailer for this.
Well, again, the
You know,
trailer.
if you actually see how they do it, it looks crappy. How
Huh?
they did the special effect. If you watch it, how they did it in real life, it looks like, really, this is it. But then when they show it on film with the higher rate of film, it looks amazing.
Oh yeah. They're just blowing apart little models and stuff. That's why every fighter jet, when it gets blown up by an alien, it goes into like a freeze frame type of just explosion.
Yeah.
And then this part blew my mind. I was like, oh yeah, why did I think of fucking Shields?
Is that Aaron?
And I bet that seeing a guy like Will Smith like hit it to the big leagues would have been a really positive enforcement towards the community.
He was what?
A positive enforcement to Forbes and Williams community.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this would have been a much better movie if the aliens did not have shields.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Shields threw me for a curve because it was like I wasn't expecting that, but it's like it's so familiar. Shields on a spaceship, and I was like, oh shit, they got to do
If they
that.
don't have shields, then when we shoot missiles at them, we take them down right away. So it's like there's no suspense.
No, we don't take them back. It actually becomes a battle, not just oh, you can't get past us, but we can blow the crap out of you.
Yeah, but there's no point to send them into the mothership at the end with the little MacBook computer virus in.
Yeah, that could be all gone and not done and just have a battle.
Now, I was in ROTC when this movie came out, and I brought my VHS to school. We were watching it on the little TV cart they used to have back in the 90s. I don't know what they do now.
Oh, you're talking
but
about
I remember my sergeant major going, I mean, the movie's exciting, but fucking jets don't fly around like X-Wings. It's fucking bullshit. I'm like, all right, fuck.
Like I remember like Captain Marvel when that came out, that tried, and I would argue failed to recreate the Grand Canyon chase there.
Oh, they tried to do that in Captain Marvel?
Yeah, where there's during the third act, I mean, that movie's so forgettable, but that's one of the things I do remember about it.
Oh, in Australian schools, we had the little TV cart as well. But when I went to high school, everything changed from VHS to DVDs.
Yeah, this was the year DVD started going mainstream. Yeah. Look at that, this punched out an alien.
I was one of the few kids who had cable, so I would tape the movies and bring them into school, and the teacher would put them on Fridays with the TV.
Yep. We watched Blazing Saddles in my psychology class that I put the VHS in.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that must have ruffled some feathers.
we ran out of curriculum, and the teacher's like, I got Blazing Saddles on me. And he's like, I don't know if I should play that one. There was it.
I would agree.
Class loved it. Wait, you're already at the alien punch-out scene? I'm watching it on the Twitch.
Oh, as I'm watching on Amazon. Where are you guys at?
We're on they're almost to the Grand Canyon part.
Oh, okay, I'll go back a little bit. Like it's right where they're attacking El Toro.
He's it's right before the death of his friend. Like he's, I can't breathe.
Okay.
Put your mask back on.
Okay.
And his friend is dead.
I have it on Amazon. I just playing it on my Amazon.
His friend just blew up.
Yeah. Jimmy, no. Yeah. Okay. It's cool. That means this year I get to see the alien punch scene twice. But you only get that kind of punching power if you do the kind of training that Brad and Aaron have done, guys. Come on, catch up with us.
Oh, do like a fucking 5-point palm exploding heart technique on an alien?
Damn right. Those exosuits they have are nothing.
I'll as cheesy as I see this movie now, I'll never betray the feelings that I had when I first watched it. I thought this was amazing. I probably watched this VHS probably like 20, 30
Oh,
times.
yeah, I did too, man.
Well, I kind of knew about computers and everything, and I went when I first watched this. I went, really? We have an Apple computer able to talk an alien language?
See, I always thought it was plausible only because they were using our signals and they were using our satellites to bounce
Well,
signals off of. So
there's
they
that-
adapted their compatibility to us.
Well,
And
there's
so-
actually in the extended cut. I think there's an extended cut. It's about 10 minutes longer. There's actually a deleted scene they work back into it where they show that David discovers that the alien, their signal runs on a binary code, so he's able to match it up with his MacBook that way.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Binary means 1 and 0. That's it. You
Yeah.
could have a whole bunch of ones and zeros, and that doesn't mean anything unless you have a code with it to go
Well,
along.
it does when you're cable repairman to graduate from MIT.
Okay.
Eh,
Live in your world, Brad.
damn right. I live in the world where dogs can outrun fire.
The biggest effect though was watching Will Smith in Alien. That's right. That's right. That's what you get.
Get off me, parachute.
Fun facts. Roland Emmerich and that got inspired to make this movie through War of the Worlds.
Yeah. Well, this was, during the kind of the stretch in the 90s and like going to like, okay, here's the alien punch again. We'll see that again because again, that's just like and a bang, welcome to Earth.
I don't even know how he opened up the hatch from the outside. It was-
Well, I used to kind of have the question about like, okay, so when he walks up to the ship, like, how come the force field didn't zap him? And then I remember like kind of googling that online, and people explain like a force field, it deflects objects that are coming in fast, like a missile, but he's walking up at like a pace a human would, so that wouldn't trigger the force field because he's not going to do any damage just walking up the ship.
Brad, a force field can do whatever the writer says it can do. Because there's no such thing as a force shield in the really real world.
Okay, thank you. Anthony,
Oh,
asks,
knock off Keanu Reeves right here. James Duvall. I'm surprised they never did a movie together. Maybe he'll take over as John Wick.
Oh, John Wick. Well, I was gonna say John Wick prequel, but he's also older now.
I'm like, you guys are not related.
Panel in terms of end of the world scenarios, would you rather deal with alien invasion, Independence Day, or what happens the day after tomorrow?
Well, on that question, Las Vegas is like number 13 on the list of targets to hit.
We can go back, we can go forward, we can go side to side.
Why is Vegas the target? Did they manufacture something that
Nellis Air Force Base.
I think
Nellis Air Force Base, Creech Air Force Base, Air Force Developmental, which is Area 51. Yeah, we're toast.
Anthony, I would say I probably would take this over the day after tomorrow, or like 2012, or like Emmerich's other disaster movies. Because
Well, you mean with the ISIS chasing you into the house? Yeah,
yeah. It seems we actually seem to have the capability to fight back in Independence Day, where it's like
it's
we're
the
just kind
weather
of like sentient ice and stuff, and
I'm going to catch you. It's almost like the shark going for revenge across the Mediterranean.
2012 actually is like, that's probably after Independence Day. That's probably my favorite disaster movie of Roland Emmerich's is 2012.
I enjoyed 2012.
Once again, we can't make disaster movies without them being bullshit, because that movie was some bullshit too.
Oh my God!
Entertaining.
I listened to the scientific things they were saying, and I went, "This is bullshit."
Are you talking about the whole thing about
Yeah,
like the
I'm
sun
like, wow.
sending out like the radiation, that melts or the Earth's core and causes all the plates to shift? And
You are
Yeah, but
exposed.
there's talking about it. And if that were true, there's no conversation being had. You're dead.
You're exposed to so much radiation just walking around the block
Yeah.
than anything else.
Like a solar flare could really fuck you if if you really want to be bad luck.
There's radiation. There's radiation in people's microwaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, your body is designed to handle a certain amount of radiation just to be able to survive. It's just when it's when it's out of whack, that's when you
I
have
think
a
I
When
problem.
hear
you get
I
to
think I hear
ionizing radiation, that's when you're in trouble.
And speaking of radiation, I
Yeah.
think I hear a lot of it going on right now in the Williams parking lot. Or
Is this
somebody's
the most?
parking. It's
Is this
either
the most
Williams
thankless
or
role? Huh?
it's either Williams or somebody's got fireworks going off right now.
Oh
Right
yeah,
now.
they're fucking blasted. Is this the most thankless role Adam Baldwin has ever had? I mean, this guy was Animal Mother in Full Metal Jacket. Now he's just a background actor.
Full Metal Jacket, that had the real life drill instructor, right?
Yep, R.E. Emery.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Which originally the drill
Once
instructor was
that
going to
15, 20 minutes is over, I turn
No,
the movie
no,
off.
you're wrong, William. That movie gets so much better when they get into Vietnam.
It doesn't, but
And the drill inspector, the guy that was originally cast as a drill inspector, is the guy on the helicopter going, "Get some, get some." He originally had the role, and they replaced him with the guy that we see now.
Did mommy and daddy not give you enough attention?
like I said, every damn drill sergeant wanted to be that guy, and I just happened to run into one that wanted to emulate him.
No,
What a loser.
that movie, Full Metal Jacket's fantastic, though. It's a great metaphor.
I mean, it's
for
not a bad
everything.
movie, but it's just after that opening, I just don't really. I'm like, fuck it. We love you
Look at-
long time, yeah.
Watch that movie again from the perspective of a bunch of soldiers losing their virginity from getting their first kill, and it makes
Oh, okay, here's the
total
funny
sense.
scene. Here's when it's like dragging the alien in the parachute. This is supposed to be my weekend off. I could have been at a barbecue. What the hell is that smell?
Yeah, just like in
You're
Bad
right
Boys.
there.
So the I love that the stupid becomes like the hero.
Is this a deleted director's cut version? I don't remember this preacher guy.
I think. Well, no, I don't think it is. I mean, well, I'm watching on my. Maybe that's why I keep getting ahead of you, as I'm watching on my Amazon.
Yeah, we're at Vivica Fox driving through all the destruction of the city, but I don't remember that preacher guy, and I remember this movie pretty much verbatim.
Yeah.
All right, now they find the first lady. All right, now it's Will Smith dragging the body. In fact, the last toy I ever bought was a figurine of that alien from Independence Day.
It looks like a squid.
Yeah. I thought it was a pretty creative design.
Didn't they make Happy Meal toys?
Huh?
Didn't they make Happy Meal toys from these movies?
I don't remember Happy Meal toys. I remember I bought like an official toy with the full endoskeleton and the little alien that pops out inside. And I was like, yeah, it was pretty good detail.
Let me have a look.
It must be totally dark now because the fireworks are really going off now.
Yeah. I think Will Smith needs to make another like CGI heavy like blockbuster.
No, I was mistaken with Burger King.
Oh, they made toys? At least he didn't rap on this one. This movie did not need a Will Smith rap.
Well, I'm going to be AFK for a bit. I'm going to go watch the pretty lights outside for a little bit.
While you're at high altitude.
No, I'm just on the runway. But the plane is starting to wind its engines.
I'm like 6 beers deep, so I'm mellow.
I don't drink, so
I'll have a cup of tea.
Yeah, a cup of tea.
Yeah.
how are you not celebrating the 4th of July, Aaron, with beer and fireworks?
You know who else has tea right now?
Go get yourself some Blue Moon, Aaron. Do you drink,
So
Aaron?
the fireworks come to the end of the movie when he promises his kid, I promised you fireworks.
You don't drink, Aaron?
Nah, I'm not a drinker.
Nah.
You see, William keeps it's like I'm telling you, we don't need a DNA test. It's like everything. It's like I got T, she's got T. We're both karate nerds. We look exactly alike. We're born a year apart. Come on, it'd be a formality to get that DNA test.
It's data.
Oh yeah, I know it breaks William's heart. Well, maybe it doesn't break his heart, but it's like maybe just like mildly annoys him that I knew. Well, I don't know. I'll ask when he gets back. Like, because my intro to Brent Spiner was not Star Trek; it was Independence Day.
Oh, he's great here.
If it had been,
He gets
if
to emote.
my intro had been, oh, let me pull this up because that ID4 real time. God, they have a great one about him.
And he was
Well,
on in that movie, Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah, he was. It's the guy in the cage. Exciting. I won't use the word exciting to describe it.
I'm sure he was having fun in this role. Who goes to like Juilliard school to play a role where you don't emote forever?
Yeah, this is from the ID4 in real time Twitter. Photo of the surgeon tasked to examine the alien. Don't you feel reassured that everything's going to be okay with this guy running the show?
Hey, William. You there?
He's probably got a customer. Yeah, really. It's like, this is, again.
I was like, how does one get to go to work for Area 51?
I mean, this guy definitely probably was like a day one applicant.
There's a place in Las Vegas. I can't remember where it is, but they send employees through an airport. It's like a private airport, and all the employees go onto these planes, and they fly them in and out of Groom Lake.
Hand signals and body language.
So all these scientists would have all have homes in Las Vegas.
Yeah. So William, I pulled this up. I pulled this up from the ID4 real time Twitter. This always makes me laugh. He puts this one out every year. This makes me laugh so hard. Yeah, photo of the surgeon tasked to examine the alien. We should be reassured knowing that this guy's going to be running the show.
Hey, William.
This guy's running the alien experimentation operation.
Oh, you left again?
I'm keeping this up until he comes back.
Does he care about his customers more than me?
Well, we can shove you off a ladder, and then that changes.
No. Yeah. Then I have too much of his attention. see what the chat's saying.
I just love this picture of him. It's like the last 24 hours have been really exciting. You know, and joking aside, it's like that must have really been one hell of a punch on that alien that he drags through the desert for 3 hours and it doesn't wake up until it's inside the med lab in Area 51.
You guys already walk around?
Yeah, it's boring. Pirates are cool, but
That's the whole point.
yeah, but I actually know my friends.
Or they just walking down the street.
Huh?
Or they just be walking around.
No, I'm at their house.
What you call them?
No, at their house. I went to their house.
What did you call them?
I don't know.
Oh, you're not going to cell phones to call your friends.
I haven't been up there.
How do you try to call them?
Because of the new phone.
Messing up.
I'll get their phone numbers. Well, one of them is out of town for another week, so I'll probably
I'm guessing this is William's customer, so I'm going to go ahead and let him conduct that sale.
Oh, it's called
William
Janet
Bill
and Janet
Williams.
Airlines. Are the unofficial names of the highly classified fleet of passenger aircraft operated for the United States Department of the Air Force as an employee shell to transport military, Department of Defense, civilians and contractor employees to special access program facilities. And they're the ones that take all these people to Area 51 from Las Vegas.
Well, in this movie, we just get the cat's out of the bag about aliens, so we're just kind of like just carpools there.
See, I don't even remember this scene where they're sitting inside the alien spaceship.
Okay, you William must have put on the extended cut then, which is that's really unusual for William.
What?
I think it's the reason why I keep getting ahead of you guys. I'm watching the theatrical version. I think you guys are on Twitch. You're watching the extended cut.
Oh, so only available I had available to me. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember any of this
How
part.
big a difference?
It's about 10 minutes longer.
It's seemingly significant. There's parts that I don't remember, and I remember this movie verbatim.
Well, meanwhile, William, while you stepped away, I pulled this up from the ID4 real time. This is the funniest tweet they put out every year. Photo of the surgeon tasked with examining the alien. Don't you feel reassured that everything's going to be okay with this guy running the show?
Yeah, I saw that.
And I told you, also mentioned when you stepped away, I don't know if this like disappoints you or annoys you or not, but that my intro to Brent Spiner was not Star Trek, it was Independence Day.
It's kind of sad, yeah.
Well, I mean, it could be worse. My intro could have been
You were just born at the wrong time. That's all.
Well, I mean, my intro could have been Independence Day Resurgence. Look at it that way, where they bring him back in that whole bullshit resurrection from the whole...
or it could have been even worse. Your first introduction to him could have been, "Dude, where's my car?"
Hey, William. Clearly, Area 51 has soldiers working there. How does one get a soldier job at Area 51?
It's just like any other job.
Yeah, but it's like super top secret. So do you have to be like tapped for that, or you just look on the wall at the base at the FOB and see the hiring positions, or what? How does it do?
You apply for it and they run you through a security clearance, and if you pass the security clearance, there's just different levels, that you got to go through. I mean, you need a top secret clearance in certain areas, and then not everybody has the same clearance. The people guarding Area 51 don't have the same clearance as the people working Area 51, because it's like some of that stuff is for your eyes only, for official use only, or for need to know basis. So it just depends on what you're doing there. But no, it's not impossible to get a job there. It's just you just have to have the right clearance and pass through the vetting process. That's all.
Well, what would dictate the right clearance? Like you have like a bunch of like accolades plus like a clean record, or
Not necessarily, because you don't have to. I mean, you don't even have to be in the military that long to be. You just have to pass the base security clearance for a top secret clearance.
One of the things about passing the security clearance is you can't have any real like credit card debt or anything they can use against you to get you to talk.
Right. I mean, yeah, they use that for basic like cops too. You can't have like so you can't be bribed and shit.
Yeah, military for different levels of clearance, you have to have certain qualifications, and they, like I said, they investigate you. They'll send people to to talk to your teachers and talk to your if you're working another job or you've worked another job. They're going to talk to everybody in your sphere of influence, your neighbor possibly. So yeah, it's a stringent thing so that they can rely on you. That's all, but it's not
You think
impossible.
you think they test you in real time, like in real life, like, hey, what's the ending of season 4 on Stranger Things? And you spoil it, and you're like, oh, this guy fucking gives up all the secrets.
Nah, because there's a difference between stuff like that and life and death stuff that you're OPSEC, operational security. There's just all kinds of different levels. The kind of stuff that a civilian would giving away versus somebody with strategic importance would give away. It's two different worlds. So nah, they wouldn't worry about that.
Hey, fourth, Vader
What's
is
up?
Luke's father.
You motherfucker! I'll let that one slide, Clint.
What I know is the highest security clearance is called cosmic clearance, and once you get that, you know everything.
Hey, William, do you believe they have aliens down there in Area 51?
I do not.
They got something they're trying to keep under wraps.
Yeah, military secrets.
Yeah, that's where all your top secret military aircraft has been developed for the last almost 70 years. So yeah, it's
Well,
great.
we're still using
And
the
they just let
stealth
people
bomber
think
from like
whatever because they'd rather
1992.
you think bullshit than actually know the truth.
We're still using the stealth bomber from like 1992. It's some new stuff.
Yeah, so think about that. By the time that you knew about that thing had been in use. By the time we knew about the Blackbird, the SR-71, it had been in use 17 years before anybody ever knew about it. That's how secret they keep that. So right now, just think backwards or forwards, or whatever they're using now is something we'll find out in 15 or 16 years once the classification changes.
But one of the
That's why
reasons why I say there's no aliens or anything like that, because all of our technology we can trace back to an origin. You know, the computers we use can be traced back to an abacus.
So?
Plus,
So
I just don't think
there's no magic mystery to where our technology comes from.
that's any intelligent species is going to look at us and be like, "Yeah, really."
I doubt anyone has found us. We're so insignificant.
Yeah.
And the universe is so big.
You guys don't believe in aliens at all?
Oh, there's life out there in the universe, but there's no way
but
they could
why would
ever
they
reach
why would they
here.
waste their time with us?
There's no way they could ever reach here.
Really?
Yeah,
maybe the robots that run off batteries might do it, but it's impossible.
Have you heard of wormholes?
Yeah, wormholes.
Yeah, wormholes.
Light speed
Wormholes are a mathematical thing. They don't, and the biggest wormhole is like the width of an atom.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they must have used that to get here because we all know the aliens built the pyramids, as we saw in another Emmerich movie, Stargate. Yeah, so here's the whole thing I was talking about earlier with the.
Well, that comes from Chariot to the Gods. He didn't originate that.
Yeah, but you had some fun with it in Stargate. But yeah, here's the thing I was talking about earlier with the whole vision that Whitmore has about them migrating from one planet to another and draining all the resources. So
just to show how insignificant this planet is of ours, in our solar system. Okay, not that far away, universal terms, but in our solar system, Carl Sagan had a picture taken of all the planets that it could see that Voyager was past. and Earth was 1 pixel big.
Yeah, well, we got a lot of oil and water here, so
Maybe that's why we only get so frequent alien sightings. They're so insignificant.
But just think about it: a picture within our solar system, and we're insignificant.
What the fuck, man?
Who's listening to Sabrina Carpenter?
In 1966.
Just stupid ass people that just have
Okay,
to add
in
music to their
1966, there was
post.
a big sighting at a school in Victoria, and the ship bloody landed, and a bunch of kids saw it.
there you go.
Explain
I
that.
believe in aliens.
Exactly. Explain that.
I can explain aliens with sleep paralysis because I've had that. Sleep paralysis is scary shit.
But you see people that aren't there.
Oh yeah. When I went through it, I could swore someone was standing at my door looking at me in my bedroom when I was on my house all by myself.
Yeah, but there were kids, there were school kids playing in a playground.
Yeah, kids I really don't believe because they're
lunchtime.
stupid. Kids are stupid.
And
when I was a kid, I was stupid.
and one of the students ran in to their like the science department head and called the main science teacher from the school, and even said he said he couldn't. He said he witnessed it and stuff, and said it was there. A freaking scientist.
Aaron, if any flying saucer landed anywhere in the world, I would have heard about it. William would have heard about it. Forth would have heard about it. Everybody
It
would
was
have heard about it.
1966.
They
And
would have
guess
heard
what?
about it.
What all these, you know what exactly? You know what exactly happened afterwards? The freaking Men in Black took a nice little visit with all these kids, and even the teacher, and they said, if you open up your mouth and start talking about this, we're going to threaten your job and say that you're an alcoholic.
Exactly.
Well, Aaron, I would just say any earth-shattering alien landed on Earth anywhere within the past 100 years or in the next 100 years would be so earth-shattering announcement that you couldn't not know about it. And Aaron, you're the first person who's ever told me a UFO landed in Australia.
Have you heard of the Phoenix Lights?
Have what?
The Phoenix Lights. It happened in the 90s. Everybody saw it.
I've driven to Phoenix, and when you see the lights of Phoenix, you're still 3 hours away.
Well, there's those reports of people that worked in there. The one that talk about that mineral that makes things zero gravity and all that type of stuff. And I'm not saying I'm fully sold on it, but I'm like, it's a possibility.
Bob Lazar talked about it.
Gravity is, it's going to be hard to explain, but gravity is time pushing on you.
Yeah, go onto Tubi or Netflix, and that you'll see a documentary about what Bob Lazar has said about all this stuff.
Well, I believe there's life out there. I don't believe they've ever come here.
What if they've been here the whole time?
This isn't some temporal war party for fourth.
They have the reptiles, the greys, the wolf species.
Well, we can all trace that back to where it began.
Have you heard of the ancient? Have you heard of the ancient astronaut theory?
Unfortunately,
Yeah, there's literally a show based on it, and so is Stargate. So yeah,
but it's all fiction.
I'm hungry.
If you know how to fly a jet, do you automatically know how to fly a helicopter?
Absolutely not.
This is like Young Williams' cameo. Just tell him I hit you. What?
Because there's one control panel on a helicopter that's not on a jet.
The whole thing?
No, you can still navigate with a helicopter, right, left, up, forward, backwards. But there's a thing called the collective. And the collective changes the angle of the blades that the helicopter gets. The more collective, the higher the helicopter goes because it's pushing more air down. There's no such thing as a collective on an airplane.
See, where's the new stealth bomber? We're using the stealth bomber for decades.
Probably killing people as we speak. We won't get the details of that anytime soon.
Yeah, they all fly from Montana, I believe.
When these guys get so close to monitor a freaking nuclear bomb,
this is more. Like I said, this movie is bullshit.
oh yeah. So the answer is no, right?
No,
These guys
no. Yeah,
they pulled up like right next to it where they're like in the blast zone with wind going past.
and that shield's kickback is they're dead.
But William, what if it's an absorbing shield?
It is fiction.
Well, I mean,
and by the way, that bomb that they're dropping is a P-83 bomb. That is a very, very. It's on a cruise missile. I think it is. There it is.
Well, this same year we had Mars Attacks come out where they tried to launch a nuke on the Martians and that, and they have like this. Their defense is like this space vacuum cleaner.
Mars Attacks was not even trying to be serious.
Look how close that stealth bomber is to like the detonation zone. That bomber didn't make it out, right?
Nah, that bomber's going through. Yeah.
It got evaporated.
Oh, did you know that Mars Attacks was supposed to come out around the
the
same
smoke
time
clears
as
and the shit's still there.
and they had to push it back to December?
Yeah, because it depends. Yeah, and that movie scared the hell out of me the first time I saw it.
Which one?
Like Mars Attacks.
Mars Attacks scare the shit out of you?
Because you had the aliens like zapping people with like these laser rays that turn them into multicolored skeletons, and you had like the one guy get shrunk and stepped on, and Jack Nicholson has the flagpole. He gets impaled. Everybody gets killed in that movie. Like every major character, they had this huge ensemble, and everybody gets killed, and they all get killed in really cartoonish, like itchy and scratchy ways.
Well, that's the fun of the movie.
Yeah, but again, when you're
the kid that pretty much saved everybody, said he wanted everybody to start building teepees instead.
Yeah, and you know stuff. Nobody does that.
The day after scared the crap out of me.
The day after scared the crap out of a lot of people. I remember going to school the next day when that shit was going down.
You mean you're talking about the day after tomorrow?
No, the day after.
Yeah, that's the one that they showed. That was a TV movie.
Oh.
What the fuck they were thinking?
Yeah, I don't know that movie.
You want to hear something really scary?
Well, real quick, the effects were really like dated when I saw it, but just the fact that it was just a pathetic death movie about the annihilation of the world, that was scary.
And the build-up to the detonation is worse than the detonation.
Yeah. That nuclear blast where it does like that 3 times zoom out over the city. It's fucking iconic. Go ahead, Clint.
Something real scary. One high altitude nuclear blast in the central of the United States would take out the entire United States.
Yeah, the EMP would yeah.
Yeah. With our 2 days without power is nothing compared to the months and years without power.
And they depicted that in The Day After. You can find that movie free on YouTube if anybody
Yeah,
wants to
which
watch
it's
it.
great because it was televised. There's another movie called America with a K, where the Russians take over the United States by doing that, which just described.
What's
Sounds like
that one?
like Red Dawn.
What's that one that was like live televised? I think George Clooney did a remake of it where there's a bomber on the way to Russia and they can't get in contact with it to stop it, and they're gonna. What was?
Good night and good luck. I don't know. I'd have to
Oh
know.
yeah, there's a bomber on the way to Russia. They can't stop it. It has a nuke on it, and so the president makes a pact with Russia that if they nuke them in good standing, we'll nuke ourselves, and they blow up New York, so that Russia will think that there's a full on nuclear attack.
Well, it sounded like Dr. Strangelove or How I Learned to Love the Nuclear Bomb, because that was the whole plot. They were able to they sent all the bombers to bomb Russia. They were able to get a hold of all but one because their radio was broke.
You said it was what movie?
Dr. Strangelove or How I Learned to Love the Nuclear Bomb.
Let me see if I can find it. I know it wasn't Doctor Strangelove.
The Russians invented a doomsday device that if they got nuked, the whole world would get destroyed. And everyone's like, why would you build that?
Oh, it was called Failsafe.
Dr. Strangelove is a funny movie.
What's up, Azteca? Stanov? Mighty Rax? Anthony Mazzano? I have to give Mars Attacks another try. I saw that movie, and I only watched it because ILM did the special effects. And I did not like that movie at all when I saw it in theaters.
I've seen bits and pieces of it. I've never seen the whole movie at once, but I remember
It was too goofy for me, like referential to other stuff like Tom Jones, and I was like, I don't get this movie.
There's an unusual thriller by no one.
Was it yodeling that killed the aliens?
Apparently, yeah. Yeah, like William said, that movie was not making any effort to be taken seriously. And like, their weaknesses we saw with just bad music.
Yeah, and their head started exploding. I remember sitting in the theater. I'm like, what? No.
Yeah, it's really goofy.
Oh,
yeah, rip out the ozone. They won't want this planet anymore. I'll get drunk and like. God, man, the fireworks still going off. Like if William's name
yeah. They'll be fucking around until like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning blasting these goddamn things out here.
Oh, the fireworks won't stop until August.
You know, they spend $200,000 for a hammer, $40,000 for a toilet seat, yeah.
I truly hate this. This is how I hate.
As I was standing outside watching the fireworks, a fire truck came rolling by. Because the police are cracking down on all the illegal fireworks.
You mean the explosive?
Hey, William, do you like Doctor Strangelove? It's a question from the chat.
I actually like that movie, to be honest with you. It took me a while to understand it, but even when I first saw it as a kid, it was so weird. I mean, Peter Sellers, the whole thing, it was just weird. And as I grew older, I kind of appreciated it a little bit more.
Hey, Erin's back. Hi, Erin. And now she's gone
Hey.
again.
Trying to fix the light. I just pop the jug on for another cuppa.
How'd you do that? I gave it a cold. Again, now William, like the whole now you go ahead, like talk about like okay, like on the bullshit quotient in this movie, like what does this rate like between 1 and 10?
This movie's at 15. This movie's, and I'm okay with it. It's enjoyable bullshit, but just like I said, I hear when people start talking about the physical dynamics of Independence Day, that conversation needs to stop immediately because there's nothing in this movie that is not bullshit.
Well, couldn't we like just do this whole thing from like Earth, like set up a Wi-Fi connection with the mothership and like upload the virus that way?
There was no Wi-Fi back then.
Yeah.
Well, I think at that time we were on the brink of creating Bluetooth.
Yeah, we still had like internet back then. Was still the whole like you couldn't use the internet and phone at the same time. So and you had the key, the whole thing. You switch over. The Secretary of Defense kind of annoys me because he's just Sunday morning quarterbacking like every attempt they make to fight back on the aliens, and everything he tries is just gets people killed.
I remember the days of using Ethernet cable back then.
AOL, baby. Handshake. Welcome.
You've got mail.
Nope, I still use that as my thing for my normal mail now.
Here's actually a little bit of trivia here from my Amazon X-ray. The president's speech was filmed on August 6, 1995 in front of an old airplane hangar that once housed Enola Gay, which dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima exactly 50 years earlier on August 6, 1945. Interestingly, the crowd was not scripted to start cheering. Bill Pullman's delivery of the speech was so good, they'd start applauding and cheering on their own. The filmmakers kept the movie. Damn right. Best inspirational speech ever.
Not really, but sure.
Yes, it is. Come on. It's so inspirational that it's like you could buy the president like jumping in a plane and fighting alongside them.
There's two better speeches in the Return of the King movie. When the king of Rohan gets the entire cavalry chanting death as they're charging into orcs.
Actually, here's some other trivia too. The final sentence of the president's speech was not in the original script and was added at the last minute for dramatic effect in an effort to convince 20th Century Fox not to avoid a legal battle to earn the right to name the film Independence Day. At the time, the production was nicknamed ID4 because Warner Brothers owned the rights.
Here we
And
go.
the title,
It's the
Independence Day.
international flight.
Yeah, exactly. And Dean Devlin had hoped if Fox executives noticed the addition in dailies, the impact of the new dialogue would help them win the rights to the title. The right to use the title was eventually won 2 weeks later.
Isn't Independence Day
Oh.
not a copyrighted thing?
Well, he's talking about there, like Warner Brothers
for
had it.
entertainment purposes, it can be copyrighted. Yeah. But there are specific things like that that are copyrighted attached to it, though. So, there's certain similarities that you just have to avoid. That's all. But the blatant term of it is public domain. Yeah.
And another fallacy about this movie, all those planes in the desert would not be able to fly very much.
Why is that?
The maintenance required on a jet is unbelievably. For every hour, they have to have like 50 hours of maintenance. 1 hour of flying with 50 hours of maintenance.
There will be a lot of breakdowns eventually. But I think they would be able to get one flight. Just like they wouldn't be able to do this again. This would be it. Because, yeah, you're right. Without the proper maintenance. But in a pinch, you got one shot. Especially with all that sand and all that shit.
I'm not saying they aren't going to fly. I'm just saying they're not going to fly long.
No, yeah, you got one shot. That's it. This mission.
Walks up there. I can fly. I'm pilot. Well, here's another thing too, where we would probably say bullshit is training everybody to fly fighter jets in this amount of time. Like even if they do have like experience with Cessnas or crop dusters.
It's like saying I can fly a jet because I played Flight Simulator 2000.
Well, that guy flew. The one dude already flew. He flew a F-14.
Oh yeah, Russell Case. Yeah.
So if you flew an F-14, you can fly an F-18.
Yeah, so they don't really go into like the other folks here, like what their flight experience is.
Yeah, but I bet you anything that those guys they can get up in the air. we just didn't see them get rejected.
Okay. Yeah, this part kind of always confused me when he's saying. Ever since I was kidnapped by aliens, I want to pay back, and the military
I found his role easy to ignore until he died. I really didn't give a shit about this character until he died.
He has such a great sacrifice death, but like when they roll his eyes when he's talking about being abducted, it's like people still don't believe him. It's like, I think he's been validated by this point, guys. I don't think there's much reason left to doubt that he was abducted.
I don't think these are the abducting type aliens, Brad.
He's the killer.
Yeah. Because how
these
the hell
look like
are
they
they
kill
able to
everybody
study us?
and then.
Yeah, it's rare. I'm
How
not a
would we-
Stanley Kubrick fan, but that movie's must have got me at the right time.
It's a very black humor movie, that's for sure.
And it's a Cold War movie. It's really a Cold War movie. Growing up on an Air Force base and watching that movie was like, ooh, wow.
And who was it that played so many different characters in that movie?
It's Peter Sellers, isn't it?
Yeah, Peter Sellers. I just couldn't put my name on it. But yeah, when he was playing the Nazi. The hidden Nazi in the wheelchair. He found a hard time not going Sieg Heil.
Dude, Sinners is already on HBO Max. Damn.
I'm waiting for the last Mission Impossible since I missed it at the theaters.
Oh, we can just. I mean, you really just the series peaks at 2, so you can just like revisit that.
Wow, it is on HBO Max like right now.
Oh, you're talking about the one that just came out?
Sinners, yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Mission Impossible. Yeah, Sinners. I saw. Yeah, it's on that's on HBO Max now. I know you want to do a watch party of that.
Yeah, I might do one of those next week. Hey Clint, can you hear me? Do you mind if we do Flash Gordon on Sunday?
No, not at all.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at my schedule tomorrow. Tomorrow is all fucked up. By the way, we are doing a Saturday Over at Night live, but it's going to be later. And one of the topics that we're going to be talking about 30 years of Power Rangers, which I'm pretty sure 2 of the people on this panel are going to do a backflip over and probably contribute.
Oh yeah.
My Power Rangers was Ultraman.
Damn right.
Dude, that's a direct
Morphin time.
All that stuff has a lineage to Ultraman.
Ultraman was a guy in a rubber suit fighting a monster in a rubber suit.
And Power Rangers were kids.
And don't forget tomorrow. And don't forget tomorrow to do like a special topic for Julian McMahon.
For what?
For Julian McMahon.
Oh, Julian McMahon, yeah, who passed
Julian
away.
McMahon.
There's a couple people. Admiral Pete from Star Wars passed away today. This has been a fucked up week, man.
Yeah, this is like 2025. Can you please kindly stop? And again, the guys
it's like more like 2016 when everybody just died.
Yeah. Day the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night.
The speech in Braveheart is better than this.
No, this is the
Final Reckoning is on streaming right now. Everything's on streaming.
So the new Mission Impossible is on streaming now?
Yep.
And the one guy does the salute. This is so perfect.
Oh, cool. I'll watch it after this stuff. I really wanted to watch it, but something about 150 million degrees outside.
That's in the shade. No, this is not happening.
He gets in the plane like, I belong in the
President,
air.
We're going to have to restrain you.
Do you
Joint
think
Chiefs of Staff is not going to stand there and let him get on that plane? It's not happening.
Do they invoke the
technically the president has a higher power than him, so you really can't stop him from doing something like that.
He's the commander in chief, and yes, he is at the top of the chain of command.
Yeah, but he's not king.
But at the same time, there are people that are duty bound to protect him. You know, I'm going to take my chance and restrain him, and if he wants to charge me later on, Congress will say nope. You're somebody has to go in your place. Are you out of your mind, Mr. President? Invoke the 25th Amendment right there.
I thought the chain of command, you pretty much, the president can pretty much do anything when it comes to the military.
Well, Donald Trump during the whatever you want insurrection wanted to be there with the insurrection, but the Secret Service would not. No.
Yep. And they are lawfully bound. The Secret Service can restrain. They can say, no, Mr. President. No, come with us.
Do you think they invoke like the 14th Amendment?
Not the 14th Amendment. It'd be the 25th Amendment. They wouldn't have to. The Secret Service they are lawfully obligated to protect the president, period. Even if it's from himself. Yeah, it's just, this is insane. But it's Hollywood. Even then, I'm like, this is just, I love this movie. Even though I was being fed bullshit with a shovel, I was having so much fun watching this movie.
Yeah, it's a fun movie if you turn your brain off.
Yeah, exactly. You have to.
Oh, I love this part when he hits the wrong button and the missile almost launches. Missile launch. Oh, crap.
Oh, fuck, I didn't know. I mean, this is, everybody's just dropping dead today. God damn.
Yeah, Julian Wang was obviously he was
I
fighting
didn't know he was sick.
a secret battle with
Yeah.
cancer.
He wasn't that old. He was like 56, wasn't he?
56, dude. These people are not.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
That age bet hits everybody. It's like when someone says, "Oh, they look amazing for their age." Lots of plastic surgery, makeup, and skincare.
Oops. It's like, read, the instructions are upside down.
So another thing, what do the shields come from one source, or is it just everything has a shield?
It's from the mothership.
It comes from the mothership.
And it sends out the
okay,
signals
because
to
I'm
all the
about
other
to say,
ships.
how come the guys didn't just hit the button on their ship that turns their shields back on?
Well, I mean,
They blew it up.
Yeah, and that's the reason why they have to fly to the mothership to plant the virus, because when they do
Yeah.
it there,
Oh, yeah, that's right. The virus is in the main
and then it
computer.
transmits the virus to the other ships.
Yeah. And it's an energy transfer system that allowed it.
Wow.
He's finally an astronaut.
And now, William, that you're talking about, like the bullshit in Independence Day. Do you think they had, if we, in the scenario, if we have like a comedy or like alien craft, do we have to try something like this, so like doing like a Trojan horse kind of thing with a couple of our own soldiers to try to?
Now we'd probably get wiped out.
We would just die because the smart aliens would throw a rock at us, and then we just die.
They have interstellar travel. Take a look at mankind right now. It's not a match.
Well, we're not going that far out. I mean, they're hovering right. They're not even as far as the moon.
They'd scan us and be like, "What the fuck? Delete."
Interstellar travel with our physics, with the physics of the universe, is kind of impossible.
Yeah, if they're that smart to do anything like in this movie, we're done.
Because physics is the same everywhere in this universe.
They just may have a better understanding of it, but,
No, there's no getting around it.
Well, what we believe is theory, like all of our theories, they could probably put into motion. Like theory of relativity, wormhole expansion, all things that are actual theories that we don't have the capacity to follow through. Some alien technology can have all that.
It's funny you mentioned relativity, because relativity is the reason why spaceflight or high velocity spaceflight is impossible.
Just imagine another society, another civilization that
they would
has,
still have to obey the same rules of physics that we do,
as we understand them. There are so many things we don't know about black holes and things like that. I mean, an alien race may know these things. We can't comprehend. Okay, beyond our comprehension is what I'm saying. There may be things that are beyond our comprehension that an alien might be 1,000 years ahead of us on. It's possible. However improbable, it's very possible. Now, I wouldn't apply them to this movie because, like I freely said, this movie is bullshit. But
oh yeah, the physics would destroy this movie.
And by the way, we have a very special guest in the chat tonight, Mr. Johnny Rico. It makes no sense. They planted the virus into an alien language they know nothing about. Well, like I said, like in the extended version, kind of resolves that plot hole that Levinson discovers that their signal is on a binary code, so he's able to infiltrate their technology that way.
It would basically be like code breaking.
Yeah,
it just basically be like code breaking. Once
yeah,
you figured out
a binary code. A binary code. It doesn't mean anything unless you have the cipher.
Exactly. Well, once again,
bullshit movie. Yes.
Yeah, this movie is.
It's like, Brad, if I send a whole bunch of zeros and ones at you, that would be a binary code. Decipher it.
Yeah. Well, you send them to me, so there's a dollar sign in front of it, and I'll take it.
What was that about a dollar sign?
If you're sending me something with like a bunch of ones and zeros, just put a dollar sign in front of all those ones and zeros, and then I'll be happy.
It's bad. It was his bad response to it. It's bad.
How? What are you? No, that was an excellent joke.
You would get booed. Do you know they would send the clown out with the hook to get you if you were on stage?
What do you
would
guys
get gonged if you remember the Gong Show?
What do you guys think the budget for this movie was? Because that's one thing that always really jumps out at me when they entered the mothership.
This budget was pretty high for its age, for its time.
But by today's standards, the budget was 75. So
yeah.
So it was pretty big by 96 standards. But today, I mean, that's that. I mean, for like a summer blockbuster, like of this,
that'd be like creator money.
Yeah, exactly. This would be this is pretty frugal by today's standards. And Independence Day Resurgence ended up costing about $100 million more and made about $600 million less.
And like I said before, if you watch how they did these special effects, you would think, "Oh, this is going to be crap."
Yes, and see right there.
But how it looks on film is amazing.
Like when you look on his computer screen right there, you can actually see the binary code. You see like the screen that has like all the.
Yeah, but back in '96, I wasn't analyzing this shit. I didn't even have. I didn't even have a cell phone to freeze frame it.
Well, if you did have a cell phone, it would have been like this big, and it would have had an antenna.
Been like our flip phone at the very least.
Hell, we wouldn't have been able to decipher the Egyptian language without a code book or with the cipher.
Yeah.
And that's a human-made language.
I'm really grateful that the president, fires the second missile too after the first one, because I mean, I would think that, the first one doesn't work. I mean, guys, like they upload the virus in the mothership. I mean, you think it would take a minute for this thing to work. So let's not abandon our plan altogether here when the first one doesn't work.
Well, the big bad spaceship is after Area 51 now, so they got to hurry.
Well, again, it's like you uploaded a computer virus into alien technology, and the ship is like hovering in Earth's atmosphere. It's like, give this a couple of minutes for it to actually take effect. Don't just abandon it after like your first missile doesn't work. I'm very thankful to the president for that. Another reason why President Thomas Whitmore, the greatest movie president ever.
I'm about to mention Lord of the Rings, William. Don't freak out. But in the movie, it looks like it was just a couple of days or maybe a week or two in the movie. In the book, the entire Lord of the Rings took about 70 years.
You go 20, Fox 2.
I remember seeing this in the movies. This was one of the better aerial fight scenes in any movie like this I've seen.
Yeah.
Just because of the directions that it was coming from and being filmed at. Wow.
Well, and then when they actually kind of
better than Top Gun.
Yeah, yeah. And then when they take the fight kind of under the ship, that's when she really gives it a lot. You really gives it a big. It makes it
That's
feel really
Garfield.
big because you got the ship hovering above them as they have the dogfight.
Then there's inertia that these guys have to deal with. For a thing to turn on a dime like these alien spaceships do, they wouldn't be able to survive it due to inertia. It's also why Star Trek is a load of horseshit, too.
Watch your mouth.
Oh, I love Star Trek. I enjoy the shit out of Star Trek. I watch it all the time. But it's all bullshit. It can never happen.
Actually,
They
another
have
thing about
scientists on speed dial. The writers.
What was that, Brad?
I was kind of he talks when they're trying to like bring the people inside before the aliens get there. The colonel there mentions the facility is buried under a mountain, so that should provide some protection. Like again, I may have asked this last time we did this watch party. Like, I mean, William, do you think their blast cannon could have like gotten through a mountain?
Yeah.
You think they would have able to like laser through the mountain to get to the
It's
one?
It's an antimatter cannon, so yeah, no problem. No problem at all.
Does that mean it doesn't matter?
I knew that was.
Oh,
funny.
now you got dad jokes.
That's you have to know Rocky Horror to know why he just said that.
What is mine? No matter. What does matter? Never mind.
Yeah, Brad, you're gonna need to go into like joke rehab or something, dude. I can't do this.
No, I just have a really tough crowd. You guys are playing hard to get.
You know when you're the funniest is when you whine about scary movie or
when
whatever.
your voice reaches that high pitch, that scream that you do.
That's when you're at your most hilarious, Brad.
I'm telling you, I'm not seeing the piece of shit that's incoming. I'm not seeing Scary Movie 6 or 8 or whatever the hell number we're on now.
But you have to watch it with your less or more dumb friends.
The only things I have to do are pay taxes and die.
Well, you have to eat.
This was an intense moment in this movie, man. This was like, because you really didn't know who they were kill off.
You know what? You gotta skip there.
Once Eric Connick Jr. got knocked off, I'm like, this everybody's fair game.
Oh yeah, that's it. It was kind of like open season and everybody. Well, and again, like even with their shields down, like how do these like tiny little F-15s like take out this massive, LA sized ship here?
And another thing, every space battle movie is wrong.
Oh, you're not. that just is.
But and by the way, they actually had an alternate ending of this. It's still kind of the same idea, but he gets Russell gets rejected when he initially tries to join the fleet they're assembling, and then when they're kind of everybody runs out of missiles, then he comes in his crop duster with a missile strapped under the wing, and then that's the same thing. He flies up into the laser cannon and blows up the ship. It's like he goes there on. They changed that because they talk about the DVD that the audience, I guess, the testimonies thought it took away a little bit of believability, and the fact that he also shows up basically on a suicide mission. They wanted to show him like in the moment make the decision to follow the sword with what he's going to do here.
Bullets could just taking these things out too. Okay, well, that's
Well, I mean, his timing's. I mean, you got to think about it. Also, the timing's got to be like pretty perfect because he's not just like flying up the
Yeah, I
laser
mean,
can there. He's
this part was kind of
he's doing
silly,
it like as they're getting, but he's doing it like as they're getting ready to like blast off. So he sets off a chain reaction there. Man,
Yeah.
this is like this.
I felt the
This is one
concussions
of the
from
best
those
heroic deaths
fireworks.
I've ever.
This will still armed.
Hello, boys, I'm back.
That
I guess
that
this
was
is
they
one of my
could have left
all-time
that.
favorite like heroic deaths. You think so?
Yeah, they could have left
Well,
out
because again, like, he is getting
over on back.
but he is getting his payback because I mean they abducted him 10 years prior.
Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of late.
And Luke Skywalker shoots the blaster bolts just in time to save the day.
And see, I was telling William last night too. This is one of like the ideas that was in Independence Day Resurgence. I thought this could have been like a better idea than the version we got. Was that when we start taking out all their ships like this, there were they were alien survivors, on the ships that we defeated, and in the years since we beat back the alien invasion, like we also like fight like these guerrilla conflicts with surviving aliens, in like remote jungles.
So I like them. I like the second wave theory better, where they just figure out, okay, something stopped us. We need to wipe these people out.
I like the ideas, because it's like a yin yang between like movie 1, movie 2 is like Independence Day 1's very big. That's like the macro, and then in that scenario, number 2 is kind of more on the micro. Then you like take these aliens and like do like almost like a predator thing with them.
I don't know.
And these ships has come to the Star Trek circuitry. Hit one part and it all blows up around them.
Damn right. Tell them how to bring those sons of bitches down. That's actually one, and you notice like, that's the one thing they didn't research about us. They didn't know that we had Morse code.
I think our first TV signals are finally reaching another star.
That took about 70 years.
Yeah, I think there's a star within 70 light years of here.
It kind of reminds me of Galaxy Quest.
Don't
You mean the 8th best Star Trek movie?
Do not ruin this stream with that mess.
All right. I'll stop it. I'll stop it just right there. All right. I'm gonna have a sip of my cup of tea, and that's it. Okay.
Galaxy Quest was a fun movie, William. It was just satire.
It's the 8th best Star Trek movie.
Horse shit stacked to the eyelids.
I never compared it to Star Trek. I compared it to the nerd culture. Because it was more of a nerd culture parody than a Star Trek parody.
Forget the fat lady. That's the fat lady. Flies out of here. I was like too the the aliens down there on that platform looks like they're all like in little cubicles. They're like alien office workers.
Another thing, the nuclear bomb would not be as destructive unless there's an atmosphere.
Actually, that's something I was kind of thinking about today. Is like because they talk about the mothership is like a quarter the size of the moon. So like, would one nuke be enough to take it out?
It depends on where if they put it somewhere where it caused a direct chain reaction. Yeah, maybe. But then again, we're talking about a movie that has followed no rules.
We would totally have our atmosphere heated to oven temperatures from all the friction of the mothership
Oh, yeah.
coming down in our
It's
atmosphere.
just like the Ewok effect. The Ewoks are dead.
Let's go faster. Must go faster.
The entire planet's sterilized. Yes, William.
Elvis has left the building.
I'm surprised you didn't go the must go faster route.
I
Brad.
did that a second ago. You didn't hear me? Must go faster. Must go faster. Must go faster. I actually like his delivery of that more than I do in Jurassic Park.
But there is atmosphere inside that alien spacecraft.
Well, I mean, it's established that they breathe oxygen like we do, so there should be an atmosphere in there, or there should be oxygen in there.
You got to figure they aimed to whatever power source. That thing, in order to power those shields up, had to have a massive power source that if people were ruptured. But like I said, like Clint said, our planet right now is dying. What you're seeing is the death of Earth right now. All that shit coming into the atmosphere like that, we dead.
Wouldn't it all burn up?
All kinds of unknown
By the
radiation.
time
Look at that. Look at that. The Sydney Opera House still there.
The friction of the metal going through the atmosphere would heat up the atmosphere to oven temperatures, like 300 to 400 degrees. It would catch all wood on fire. Just like the asteroid. It wasn't the actual impact of the asteroid. It was all the stuff it sent into the atmosphere that killed everything.
Yeah, we would basically be the dinosaurs.
Almost the end of dinosaurs. Because every bird technically is a dinosaur.
Just perfect timing. Of course, we're going to save them.
Yeah, and they had a pretty. I'm gonna wonder, does that ship have does that have landing gear, or did they just crash land into the
parachute.
Yeah.
I remember the crowd reaction this got. What the fuck?
Oh yeah. Almost as big as the dog making it.
This was the first movie that was shown 24 hours a day, I believe.
Well, I mean, they even because it was supposed to open July 3rd, and then just the demand for it was so high, they ended up opening it a day earlier.
I remember seeing this movie at 6 a.m.
You punched the president? All right, so and then this is where Williams' idea for like the much better version of Independence Day 2 comes into play. Starts off with Captain Stephen Hiller did not die off screen.
Oh, my birthday's on a Thursday, William.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna be watching Flash Gordon on the Thursday.
We're going to be watching. No,
And?
we're watching Flash Gordon on Sunday,
Okay.
along with the
On
whole
Sunday,
Ace
okay.
Ventura. We're going to get that
Mhm.
mess out of the way too.
The
But
time.
then October 23rd,
It's Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
Oh yeah, but that's. I mean, I wonder. Like, are you just like developing like an immunity to Howard the Duck now?
Pretty much.
And that's well then we.
All right, guys, there we go.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
Sunday. Will this masterpiece?
It's not a masterpiece. It's a fucking disgrace, actually. But listen, we did what we needed to do to accomplish the goal. I'm not holding back of how I feel about this.
Oh, I wouldn't miss it for the world,
and
man.
what I think it's done to Jim Carrey. Yeah, it's made him a lot of money. And like I said, I would like to find out, dude, is this how you want things to end? That's I'm more power to you. But I got a feeling that I can't believe that somebody would not want something better, especially once he had a taste of it. So I don't think Mr. Robotnik should be the end of him. I hope it's not. I doubt that would suck. That would suck if that's all he ends up doing for the rest of his career. But hey,
He seems to be having fun with it.
I think he's doing it for money. But hey, that's
Well, I mean, he
need
did
money, not
say
fun.
like, I mean, I spent.
There are worse things to do for money, William.
That's true. You could, there's things you could be on the. You could be on the pole. All right, guys. I got to go get some stuff done. So thank you guys for joining us, everybody. All 47 of you across all of our platforms that are watching this. Please like, subscribe, spread the word. We will be back on the air late tomorrow night for the Saturday overnight live show, and then we'll
How
find
much
a
money
way.
will Brad show up on time?
No,
That'll
that's
be-
not happening.
Hmm.
We will do what we need to do to endure Sunday for the most part. Flash Gordon is going to be good. But yeah, I think we'll do Ace Ventura, that garbage first, and then wash our mouths out with anything else that we have to go on there. So
I can't wait for Sunday, man.
like I said, I'm not. This is
This is going to be a 4th of July weekend to remember.
really. This is the top 10 dumbest movie of all time. This is a top. If there's a Mount Rushmore of stupid ass movies, Ace Ventura is at least 2 spots. Whoever else is on there, this is like I said.
Oh man, this is
One
going
of
to be
the
fun.
dumbest. I gotta say, it's one of the only movies that I get dumber every time I watch it. I think it actually has an effect. It can actually make a human dumber just by viewing it. So we need to do some IQ tests after this is over to see just how much of the brain power that this stupid ass movie is set. But all right, we're out of here. See you guys later.
Happy Independence Day, everybody.
Have a
All right.
Don't blow your fingers off. Don't let your kids blow your
Happy
fingers off.
Independence
And
Day.
look out for your dogs. Bye.
See you guys.